As I stepped into the grandeur of Nos Santorini Mesari, I couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and wonder. The picturesque views, the luxurious amenities, and the promise of a 5-star experience all beckoned to me like a siren's call. But dear friends, little did I know that my dream vacation would soon turn into a nightmare. First, let me tell you about the hundreds I paid for a room with a partial sea view. I use quotes because what I got was a view of the parking lot. Yes, you read that right, a parking lot. The kind where you see rows of cars and the occasional lost tourist like myself trying to navigate the labyrinthine streets of Mesari. I mean, who needs a sea view when you can gaze at a bunch of cars, right? It's not like I came to Santorini for the breathtaking ocean vistas or anything, but I digress. The room itself was interesting. The air conditioning didn't work, so I got to enjoy the sweltering Greek heat in all its glory. And don't even get me started on the bed. It was like sleeping on a rock. I swear I've had more comfortable nights on a deflated air mattress. But hey, at least the room was clean. Right, wrong. There were stains on the carpet and the bathroom was a biohazard. I'm pretty sure I saw a family of dust bunnies having a rave party under the bed. Now you might be thinking, but what about the water bottles? Surely they had those. Oh, they did. In fact, they had an endless supply of plastic bottles, which they proudly displayed in the room like a badge of honor. Because, you know, who needs a water filling station when you can waste plastic and contribute to the destruction of our planet? It's not like we're living in the 21st century or anything. And then there was the luxurious breakfast. I use quotes again because what I got was a sad, wilted excuse for a meal. The coffee was lukewarm, the pastries were stale, and the eggs were, well, I'm not even sure they were eggs. It was like they took all the leftover ingredients from the previous night's dinner and mashed them together into a sad, cold, congealed mess. I mean, who doesn't love a good congealed egg breakfast, am I right? But wait, it gets better. When I tried to check out, they accidentally charged me an extra $100. I mean, who hasn't had that experience, right? It's not like they were trying to scam me or anything. And when I confronted them about it, they just shrugged it off and told me it was a misunderstanding. Yeah, because $100 is just a small misunderstanding. You know what the cherry on top of this whole debacle was? The staff's attitude. They were rude, dismissive, and completely unhelpful. It was like they were trying to make me feel like I was the problem, not them. I mean, who doesn't love being talked down to by a condescending hotel staff member, right? As I left Nos Santorini Mesari, I couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness and disappointment. It was like my dream vacation had been stolen from me, replaced by a never-ending cycle of frustration and anger. And you know what the worst part is? They didn't even care. They just took my money and left me to deal with the consequences. So, dear friends, let this be a warning to you.
Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm like, investigating these crimes near Nos Santorini, Mesari, and it's just, wow. So many tourists fall victim to these scams, you know. So businesses near Nos Santorini, Mesari are like, super friendly, but sometimes too friendly, you know. Like, they'll offer you a special deal or discount on souvenirs or stuff, but it's just a way to get more money from you. I think what happens is, they'll show you this super cheap price, and you'll be like, oh, great. But then they'll add on all these extra fees, and it's like way more expensive than you thought. I predict that the victim probably felt so embarrassed, you know. They didn't want to admit they got scammed, and they just paid the extra money to get out of the situation. And what probably happened to the scammer? They just took the money and ran, laughing all the way to the bank. And then there are these restaurants near Nos Santorini, Mesari that are like super fancy, but their bills are like super sneaky, you know. They'll add on all these extra charges, and it's like you didn't even order that. I think what happens is they'll give you this huge bill and you'll be like, wait, what's this? But they'll just be like, oh, it's just a little extra for the service. I predict that the victim probably felt so angry, you know. They didn't want to cause a scene, but they were like, this is so unfair. And what probably happened to the scammer? They just kept on doing it because they knew tourists wouldn't speak up. And oh my goodness, the taxi drivers near Nos Santorini, Mesari are like super nice, but sometimes they'll take you on this like super long route, you know. And it's like way more expensive than you thought. I think what happens is they'll tell you it's the scenic route or something, but really, they're just taking you for a ride. I predict that the victim probably felt so frustrated, you know. They were like, I just want to get to my hotel. But the taxi driver was just like, oh, no, we have to take this way. And what probably happened to the scammer? They just kept on doing it because they knew tourists wouldn't know any better. It's just so sad, you know? These scams happen all the time near Nos Santorini, Mesari, and it's like, tourists just need to be more careful, you know?
Here is a warning to travelers. The reality of businesses near Nos Santorini, Mesari. As I delve into the reviews of businesses near Nos Santorini, Mesari, I'm left with a sense of disappointment and frustration. It's like uncovering a hidden truth, one that I wish I didn't have to share with you. But as a traveler's advocate, I must warn you of the pitfalls that lie ahead. Restaurants, bars, and resorts in this area seem to be plagued by a lack of attention to detail, poor customer service, and a general disregard for the traveler's experience. It's as if they've become complacent in their picturesque surroundings, forgetting that it's the people, not just the scenery, that make a place truly special. Take Metaxy Mas, for example. With 10 negative reviews, it's clear that this restaurant is struggling to meet expectations. Long wait times, poor service, and subpar food quality are just a few of the issues that plague this establishment. It's like they're hiding behind their beautiful views, hoping that travelers will forgive their shortcomings. And then there's KooKoo Bar Restaurant Rooftop, with 10 negative reviews of its own. Here, travelers are met with dirty facilities, rude staff, and a general sense of disorganization. It's like they're more concerned with making a quick buck than providing a genuine experience for their customers. But it's not just restaurants. Hotels like San Blue Resort are also guilty of overcharging for subpar amenities and services. It's like they're taking advantage of travelers who are desperate for a place to stay. And let's not forget about PK Cocktail Bar, where the staff seems more interested in making a sale than in providing good customer service. With 10 negative reviews, it's clear that this bar is more concerned with its own interests than with the needs of its patrons. As I read through these reviews, I'm left feeling frustrated and disappointed. It's like these businesses are failing to see the bigger picture, that travelers come to Santorini not just for the views, but for the experience. They want to be treated with respect, to be served with a smile, and to feel like they're getting value for their money. But sadly, that's not what they're getting. Instead, they're met with a lack of attention to detail, poor customer service, and a general sense of complacency. It's like these businesses are saying, "Oh, you'll come anyway, you'll forgive our shortcomings because of the views." Well, I'm here to tell you that that's just not good enough. Travelers deserve better. They deserve to be treated with respect, to be served with a smile, and to feel like they're getting value for their money. So, if you're planning a trip to Nos Santorini, Mesari, be warned. Be prepared for long wait times, poor customer service, and a general sense of disorganization. But don't let this deter you. There are still plenty of amazing experiences to be had in this beautiful region. Just be sure to do your research, to read the reviews, and to choose wisely. Remember, you deserve better. You deserve to be treated like the valued traveler that you are.